Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Terence Crawford has been making some noise lately about, his discomfort with his current situation, signed to Bob Arum in Top Rank. He tried to hide it a little bit over the past few years, but I think he's starting to come to that realization that this was probably not the best move he could have made. Now, he did kind of allude to that a little bit on the Joe Rogan show when he did that interview on the podcast, where he basically said, look, this situation that I have with Bob Arum, it is keeping me from a lot of the big fights. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how, a lot of people like to put the blame on PBC. They'll say, well, they got this idea and say, well, if he would have signed with PBC, it's not a guarantee that he would have got a chance to fight the PBC guys because the PBC guys themselves aren't fighting each other. Well, that has been debunked years ago. A few years ago, Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fought. Prime fight. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia has fought. Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia has happened. Sean Porter has fought Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao, a fresh PBC fighter, ain't been over there for more than 2 years, already fought Adrian Broner, already fought Keith Thurman. And Errol Spence, again, he's fought Sean Porter, and he was already in line to fight Danny Garcia in January of 2020 if this accident wouldn't have went down. You dig what I'm saying? So these guys have been fighting, and I guarantee you if Terence Crawford had a sign with PBC, by this time now, he would have already fought at least 2 of those guys. We would probably right now be talking about the unification match with Terence Crawford. If he would have been able to get through that gauntlet, we would have been talking about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. right now for a unification match. And it's crazy to me, it was mind-boggling that he re-signed with Bob Arum, even after seeing in the past how Bob Arum has treated certain fighters with Floyd Mayweather, the greatest boxing businessman of all time. He had to pay to get out of his contract. Andy Ruiz had to pay $700,000 to get out of his contract. You see what Mikey Garcia had to go through all those years sitting on the shelf because of bad business with Top Rank. So with the history that you've seen, I just don't understand why you would re-sign with Bob Arum and Top Rank. Recently, Bob Arum has come out and say, because we never really knew the actual terms of Terence Crawford's contract. We know that he did re-sign and extend, but we didn't really have the actual terms as far as years, the length of the contract. Bob Arum recently came out in interviews and said, hey man, look, the contract that we got with Terence Crawford, he's gonna be signed with us extending through his retirement. You know what I'm saying? He's going to fight every fight from here on out on Top Rank. And that does not sound good to me as a boxing fan. If I want to see these big fights, that does not sound good to me. You dig what I'm saying? Right now, I feel like it's going to be put up or shut up time with Terence Crawford and Bo Mack. Because his team, that whole team Crawford Inner Circle, they going to have to come up out their pockets, man, and find a way, come up with a game plan and find a way to get up out that contract. But I know you've been investing in real estate. I know you got some bread put away, man. Go ahead and put some money together, get up out that contract, bro, because we got to see you in the ring with these top fighters. Terence Crawford cannot afford to fight another Kavaliauskas. He cannot afford to fight another Kavaliauskas. After this fight, you cannot afford that, bro. It's time for you to get in the ring with these big time fighters at welterweight, and we all know the reason why it's not happening. Come on now, let's keep it 100, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.